Namaskara. Very respected in my party, much senior to me, former Chief Minister, former Union Minister, Sri Sadananda Gowdaji. I'm extremely happy today he's here. It is his constituency. He's a very respected leader of my party and I hold him with a lot of respect. So I'm grateful you could spare the time, sir. Chairman of the CBDT, officers and members of the board, officers, Rajya Sabha member Leher Singh ji, thank you for coming. And the media, invited guests. As was briefly mentioned, with a little bit of difficulty and a considerable loss of time, finally this land was allotted to the Income Tax Department, which was its due. So I thank the government of Karnataka. The land was assigned for the equal value of land which we could not have by about 22 November, December. And then the board went about planning for accommodation and they've come up with this plan to accommodate 64, as they call it, not very attractively, dwelling units, 64 apartments you may say. It's been since 2019 my very high priority that the field formations, officers working in the ground should have accommodation as much as possible closer to the workplace, and that should not be in shortage. So when transfers of officials happen, it should not become an ordeal for the officer to shift his family and be sure that accommodation is available, schools in the neighborhood, hospitals in the neighborhood, transport. So with only these kind of, let's say, guarantee of sorts, will officers who move from one place to another be able to function without stress in their minds? So I have placed a lot of importance for getting accommodation readied for all our officers and staff. This commenced from 2019. Both office and accommodation for residential purposes has been on high priority. But this particular one did take a lot of time. But I thank the government of Karnataka for having finally given us a piece which is well within the center of activity, so that families which are going to live here once this accommodation is ready will feel that they are not cut off. They are not waiting for the parent, mother or father to return from work, wondering if she'll be in time. So it is well placed so our officers can feel comfortable that they've been given an accommodation. I also appreciate the effort that has been taken in planning for this green, compliant, sustainable building, solar energy equipped, rainwater harvesting building. So we are adding only brownie points to the environment rather than depleting it. So as a responsible central government department or the board has done well for itself to make sure these features are accommodated in this building. Former Chief Minister Sadananda Gowdaji had a lot of things to say about good revenue collection from Bengaluru. Certainly the taxpayers of Bengaluru have been absolutely giving us the buoyancy. I thank all the individual taxpayers and also the corporate taxpayers in this region for making sure a building strong and a Vikasit Bharat, your contribution is relentless. There's never been a dip. So thank you very much, Bengaluru, for keeping that momentum up. But even as I say that, I'll also repeatedly remind that investments back again are happening in Bengaluru. I'm not going to talk about a whole list of the union government's investments, but department-wise and even finance ministry-wise, the emphasis placed on Bengaluru can be understood by one or two examples. The entire faceless system that we brought about for ease of doing business and for making sure the tax assessee will not be harassed, will not have the perception that discretion of an officer who he have to go and sit and talk to will make his tax payment difficult, prompted Honorable Prime Minister to come up with faceless system. And that faceless system, even in spite of some teething problem initially, today is well settled. And taxpayers find great relief in the faceless system. Redressal of grievances is also speedier. Now, why am I talking about faceless when I'm talking about investment of central government or particularly the Department of Revenue in Bengaluru? The entire central processing center, the digital processing unit, which governs the entire country, for which the department has invested not 1 year, not 2 years, but continuously upgrading the systems which are there and which is located in Bengaluru, is the one which drives the income tax system for the entire country. That investment is made by the central government, Department of Revenue in Bengaluru. So money doesn't go away from Karnataka, it comes back as well. And comes back not just like that, and yes, it comes back for roads, it comes back for connectivity, it comes back for metro, it comes back for rail, it comes back for the suburban railway system, it comes back for Bengaluru port, it comes back for northern Kalyana Karnataka and so on. But specifically I want to highlight the fact that Department of Revenue's entire national faceless scheme runs from Bengaluru. And you can imagine, therefore, the scale of investment which should have happened for that. And that is, I'm very happy and proud. The manpower is also from Bengaluru. And they run the whole system for the country. And today, when you talk to countries outside of India, they quote this as one of a very big step forward in ease of doing business and also for taxpayer convenience that runs from Bengaluru, I repeat. There are many other Department of Revenue facilities within Bengaluru. So there is just a lot of give and take which happens from this city. I was very happy to hear the very first line which our former Chief Minister spoke about how Bengaluru has now become synonymous with so many different pioneering industries, whether it's your IT, whether it is the global capability centers, whether it is SaaS, whether it is also the new and upcoming world of the startups. There is a time when in the West, people started wondering if Silicon Valley will no longer be in California or its surrounding, it will only be in Bengaluru, and it is becoming so. Even that is Bengaluru. So there is ever so many matter that we can speak about, but I'll confine myself today for this one program, that staff welfare, their accommodation requirement, their well-being is fully taken care of, and we have a very good prospective building coming up here for which the foundation stone has been laid. It is in the constituency of the former Chief Minister. I'm happy he was here. Without protracting on the details of income tax generated from Bengaluru, income tax generated in comparison from rest of Karnataka and so on, that debate will be an ongoing debate. But I indeed thank every one of you all who've come here and participated in this function. I'm sure the CPWD and the CBDT will ensure that this is done well in time and not wait for the deadline. I'm not worried about the cost overrun. I'll certainly be worried about that. But more importantly, we need residential units to be readied in time for our staff. So with those words, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Namaskar.